Good morning children. Welcome back to video part 6, chapter number 1, matter and its composition. Subject chemistry. Today we are going to start change in state of matter. As we know, water changes its state from ice to water, water to water vapor, and water vapor to water, water to ice on being heated or being cooled. So similarly, other substances also change their states on being heated or being cooled to the right degree, that is to the right temperature. So the change in state of matter from one to another is called interconversion of state. What is interconversion of state? Underline, the change in state of matter from one to another is called interconversion of state. Here we will study two types of interconversions. One is solid liquid interconversion and second is liquid gas interconversion. Firstly, we are going to study solid liquid interconversion. In solid liquid interconversion, we have two types of processes, and these are, first one is melting and second one is freezing. Now, when solid changes into liquid, solid changes into liquid upon heating, the process is known as melting. What is melting? The process in which solid changes into liquid upon heating is known as melting. And the temperature at which solid changes into liquid is known as melting point of solid. What is melting point of solid? The temperature at which solid changes into liquid or at which solid melts, known as melting point of solid. Melting point of solid. For example, ice, which is solid in nature, when heated to 0 degrees Celsius, changes into water, and water is liquid in state. So this is the example of melting, that is ice changes into water at 0 degrees Celsius. So we can say melting point of ice is 0 degree Celsius. Melting point of ice is 0 degree Celsius. Similarly, we have freezing, the process in which liquid changes into solid on being cooled is known as freezing. What is freezing? The process in which liquid changes into solid on being cooled is known as freezing. And again, the temperature at which liquid changes into solid, known as freezing point of liquid. What is freezing point? The temperature at which liquid changes into solid or liquid freezes, known as freezing point of liquid. Freezing point of liquid. For example, water, which is liquid in state at 0 degrees Celsius, changes into ice, which is solid in state. So we can say that freezing point of water is equals to 0 degrees Celsius. That is, freezing point of water is equals to 0 degrees Celsius, because at 0 degrees Celsius water changes into ice. Here we have 2 points to note. The very first point is melting point is always of solid. Melting point is always of solid, and freezing point is always of liquid. Always of liquid. The second very important point to note is that melting point of solid is similar to that of freezing point of corresponding liquid. Here we can see melting point of ice is equals to 0 degrees Celsius and freezing point of water is 0 degrees Celsius. So the second important point, we have melting point of solid and freezing point of corresponding liquid are same. Same concept is written over here. We already have done right now. You can underline. On being heated to a particular temperature, a solid changes into the corresponding liquid. This is called melting of solid. What is melting of solid or melting? The process in which solid changes into liquid upon heating, known as melting. So again, the temperature at which solid melts or solid changes into liquid is known as melting point of solid. For example, ice melts at 0 degrees Celsius. So melting point of ice is 0 degrees Celsius. This we already have done. Of carbon is 3550 degrees Celsius. Aluminium is 660 degrees Celsius. Iron is 1535 degrees Celsius. Next again we have freezing. The change in underline, the change in state from liquid to solid is known as freezing. That is, change in state from liquid to solid, known as freezing. And the temperature at which liquid changes into solid, known as freezing point. Or we can say, on being cooled, a liquid changes into the corresponding solid at a temperature called its freezing point. So now again, point told by me is explained over here. That is, the freezing point of liquid, underline, the freezing point of liquid is same as that of melting point of corresponding solid. Like freezing point of water is 0 degrees Celsius, melting point of ice is 0 degrees Celsius. So we can say at 0 degrees Celsius both ice and water exist together. Underline this. This is very important. At 0 degrees Celsius both ice and water exist together. Why so? Because melting point of ice and freezing point of water both are 0 degrees Celsius. So that's why both ice and water exist together at 0 degree Celsius. Now next very important point, underline, a substance will exist in the solid state only below its melting point and in liquid state only above its melting point. So for this reason, carbon, aluminium, iron, gold exist in solid state. These all exist in solid state because their melting points are higher than room temperature. And similarly, substances like water, ethyl alcohol, acetone, mercury exist in liquid state because their melting points are lower than room temperature. From this paragraph, two questions arises. First one is why carbon, aluminium, iron or gold exist in solid state. The answer is because their melting points are higher than room temperature. And second question is why water, ethyl alcohol, acetone or mercury exist in liquid state. Again answer is because their melting points are lower than room temperature. Next we are going to do why solid converts into liquid on being heated. That is why solid converts into liquid on being heated. To do this, you should know about the 3 points. The very first point is intermolecular space. And we know intermolecular space is the space between the two molecules. Space between the two molecules is known as intermolecular space. And intermolecular space in case of solid is small because molecules are closely packed. In case of liquid, it is large because molecules are apart. Second, we have intermolecular force or cohesion. Now, again we know intermolecular force or cohesion is force of attraction. It is the force of attraction between the two molecules. Now, in case of solid, this intermolecular cohesion or intermolecular force is large because molecules are close to each other and they attract very strongly to each other. Again, in case of liquid, it is small because molecules are apart, so forces of attraction are small. Now, the very important point, that is third point, we have kinetic energy. Write on the definition of kinetic energy. The energy possessed by an object or molecule due to its motion. Underline motion. The energy possessed by an object or molecule due to its motion known as kinetic energy. Now, important point to note is kinetic energy is because of motion. Kinetic energy is because of motion. And as we know, motion is related to speed. Motion is related to speed or velocity. So, formula of kinetic energy we have kinetic energy. It can be written as K dot E and it is equal to half mv square, where m is mass and v is velocity or speed. Now, second formula of kinetic energy we have, that is kinetic energy K dot E is directly proportional to temperature. Kinetic energy is directly proportional to temperature. So these are the two formulas of kinetic energy. Kinetic energy is equals to half mv square, that is kinetic energy depends upon velocity, and kinetic energy directly proportional to temperature, that is with increase in temperature kinetic energy increases. For this I have an example. When we heat water, you may have seen this, that when we heat water, then water molecules start coming upward. When we heat water, then water molecules start coming upward. Why so? Because when we heat water, then actually what happen? We increase temperature. When we heat water, then temperature is increased. That is, with increase in temperature, kinetic energy increases. With increase in temperature, what happens? Kinetic energy increases, because kinetic energy and temperature are directly related to one another. Then with increase in kinetic energy, what happens? If kinetic energy increases, it means velocity increases. So with increase in kinetic energy, velocity of moving particles increases. So as velocity of moving particles increases, it means particles start moving fast. So that is, particles start moving fast. So similarly, we have case of solid, that is when solid is heated. When solid is heated, then what happens? When solid is heated, then temperature is increased. That is, with increase in temperature of solid, kinetic energy of solid molecules increases. And with increase in kinetic energy of solid molecules, what happens? Velocity of moving particles increases. And with increase in velocity of moving particles, particles starts moving fast. So as particles start moving fast, then what happens? Intermolecular space between the particles increases. Particles are moving fast, so they may go far away from each other, so hence intermolecular space increases. And with increase in intermolecular space, intermolecular force decreases. So this intermolecular space increases and intermolecular force decreases. That is, intermolecular space become large and intermolecular force become small. So we can say in this way solid changes into liquid. So we can say temperature overcomes the strong cohesion of solid and solid melts down. Same explanation is given in your textbook, but it is in short. So you may learn from here. That was only for your understanding. So here it is written that why solid converts into liquid on being heated. In a solid, the molecules vibrate about their mean positions. In solid, molecules vibrate only about their mean positions. But on being heated, they receive energy from outside and vibrate with a greater energy than before, because on being heated temperature increased, so energy, that is kinetic energy, increased and molecules start vibrating fast. Gradually they receive so much energy that they can overcome the strong cohesion or intermolecular force of attraction of the solid. As a result, the molecules become labile and the solid melts down. So similarly, when liquid is cooled, that is the temperature of liquid is lowered, its molecules loses energy, that is kinetic energy of the molecules decreases and move nearer to each other, means intermolecular space between them decreases. So with decrease in intermolecular space, cohesion increases and liquid solidifies, that is freezes. So here two questions arises from these two paragraphs. First one is why solid converts into liquid on being heated, and second one is why liquid freezes into solid on being cooled. I am repeating, why liquid changes into solid on being cooled. Next we have liquid gas interconversion. Now again in liquid gas interconversion we have two types of processes. First one is boiling and second one is condensation or liquefaction. Now when liquid changes into gas on being heated, then this process is known as boiling. What is boiling? Process in which liquid changes into gas on being heated is known as boiling. So again the temperature at which liquid changes into gas known as boiling point of liquid. For example, water, which is liquid in nature, when heated to 100 degrees Celsius, changes into water vapor. Water vapor are gas in nature. So we can say boiling point of water is equal to 100 degree Celsius. I am repeating. The process in which liquid changes into gas on being heated known as boiling, and the temperature at which liquid changes into gas known as boiling point. For example, water when heated to 100 degrees Celsius changes into water vapor. So we can say boiling point of water is 100 degree Celsius. And in case of condensation or liquefaction, what happens when gas is cooled? When gas is cooled, it converts into liquid, and this process is known as condensation or liquefaction. That is, when gas changes into liquid on being cooled, process is known as condensation or liquefaction. Now here we have one important point in boiling, that is boiling is bulk phenomena. It is bulk phenomena. Because it is bulk phenomena, so that's why in boiling bubbles are formed. Bubbles are formed. Bulk phenomena means it occurs even inside the liquid also. Now again come to your textbook. So underline, when liquid is heated to a particular temperature, it forms bubbles throughout its bulk. This phenomenon is known as boiling, and the corresponding temperature is known as boiling. That is, in boiling what happens? Liquid changes into gas and bubbles are formed throughout its bulk, and the temperature at which liquid changes into gas known as boiling point. Like boiling, evaporation is also process in which liquid changes into gas on being heated. But there is a major difference between boiling and evaporation. First difference between boiling and evaporation is surface phenomena. It is surface phenomena, and boiling is bulk phenomena. It is bulk phenomena. In case of evaporation, bubbles are not seen, but in case of boiling, bubbles are seen or bubbles are formed. Third major difference between boiling and evaporation is possible at low temperature, but boiling is possible only at high temperature. So because of this reason, a liquid gets converted fast into gaseous state because here temperature is much more. So that's why conversion of liquid into gas is much fast as compared to evaporation. So because of this reason, you see all the bubbles. So bubbles appear because of high temperature. Next we have why liquid changes into gas on being heated. So again same concept comes over here, that is on being heated the molecules move still farther apart, because on being heated what happened, temperature is increased, and with increase in temperature kinetic energy of the molecules increases, And as kinetic energy of molecules increases, molecules start moving farther apart. So as molecules start moving farther apart, that is intermolecular space between the molecules increases. So with increase in intermolecular space, the intermolecular force becomes too weak. And this intermolecular force becomes too weak to hold them together. And gaseous state results from liquid state. Next we have boiling points of some common liquids, like boiling point of water is 100 degrees Celsius, ethyl alcohol 78 degrees Celsius, glycerine 290 degrees Celsius. Now next point, underline, a liquid slowly evaporates, that is changes into vapor even without boiling. You may have observed that water left open to the air slowly evaporates, and this process is known as evaporation. It may be possible at low temperature. Next is about condensation. A substance will exist in the liquid state only below its boiling point, because above its boiling point it changes into gas. So when a substance in the gaseous state is cooled, it will changes to the corresponding liquid below its boiling point. So this phenomena is known as condensation or liquefaction. What is liquefaction or condensation? Phenomena in which gaseous state is cooled and it is changed into corresponding liquid, known as condensation. When cooled, again, why gas becomes liquid on being cooled. So same concept again come over here, that is when cooled the molecules of gas becomes less energetic, that is upon cooling temperature is lowered, so energy is lowered and molecules come close to each other. So as a result, intermolecular space decreases and intermolecular force increases and gas becomes a liquid. Next topic is like question. It is, are vapors different from gases? No, vapors are not different from gases, or we can say vapors are the same as gases because both are in gaseous state. Vapors and gases both are in gaseous state. Then why names of some substances are named as gases and of some substances are named as vapors? So the difference in the names of substances is just because of the state of their existence. If substance exists in gaseous state, then it is called gas, and if substance exists in liquid or solid state, then it is known as vapor or named as vapor. So here we have some examples like hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide are called gases because usually they exist in gaseous state. That's why they are called gases. But the substance like sulfur in gaseous state is known as sulfur vapor because usually it exists in solid state. Similarly, water in gaseous state known as water vapor because usually it exists in liquid state, or we can say substance that ordinarily exist in the solid or liquid state are called vapors in the gaseous state. I am going to repeat. If substance ordinarily exists in gaseous state, then it is called gas, and if substance ordinarily or usually exists in solid or liquid state, then it is called as vapor. So if I ask you one question, it is, why water in gaseous state known as water vapor while carbon dioxide known as gas? So your answer should be water in gaseous state known as water vapor because ordinarily it exists in liquid state, and carbon dioxide is known as gas because ordinarily it exists in gaseous state. Next is sublimation. Now, the process in which solid directly changes into gas. without changing into liquid is known as sublimation. Write on the definition of sublimation. The process in which solid changes into gas without passing through liquid state known as sublimation. I am repeating, the process in which solid changes into gas without passing through liquid state known as sublimation. In the textbook, this topic is as some solids vaporize directly. Some solids vaporize without melting, that is without going into liquid state, and this phenomena is known as sublimation. This we already have done. You must have observed that a mothball or an air freshener kept in the open slowly becomes smaller and finally disappears because it is made up of chemical called naphthalene, and naphthalene sublime at room temperature. Mothballs are also known as naphthalene balls, and these balls are white in color, and we keep these balls in our almirah with our clothes. Now, camphor also sublime at room temperature. Iodine and ammonium chloride sublime when heated. Naphthalene and camphor sublime at room temperature, but iodine and ammonium chloride sublime when heated. So with this, we are done with change in states of matter.